Happy Tuesday. Happy February 18th. It is 10 a.m. in the morning and we have beautiful sunshine, beautiful blue skies. When we got up at 8 a.m. it was -9 out here. Oops, didn't mean to turn my camera. -9 was the actual air temp. We are now at 1. It just hit 1. We're supposed to get a high of 16. But -9 is pretty darn cold. The sunroom, which is run by our little Eden Pure heater, it was 66 out here. Wasn't bad, but I'm glad for the little heater. So, but this morning I have my my smoothie right here. And in my smoothie, I have my Greek yogurt, and I have a banana, and I have blueberries, and pineapple, mango, and peaches. About a cup's worth of frozen fruit in there. And then I have my second cup of coffee in my Michigan mug. It's hard to see because it's so bright out. And I also have my French vanilla creamer in there. So this morning I'm tired, but who isn't in the mornings when it's cold like this? So I just wanted to hop on and say good morning. Today I have laundry going. I have to make our bread. I have to make my yogurt, and I'm hoping to get into my sewing room today to start quilting on that quilt that's been laying there all pinned together. I knew I wasn't going to attempt it yesterday because I had the dentist appointment at noon, and then in the afternoon I just didn't feel like doing it. Well, I wanted to get those seeds started. So this morning I did start a new cross stitch pattern. It's a freebie chart from from the Heart Needlework or Needle Art by Wendy, and it is called Grandma's Flower Garden, and it's a freebie, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And so I just started it. I went last night, pulled out a piece of scrap Ada fabric, 18 count, and I'm using one strand, and I am using grape pie. If I can't eat my grape pie, I might as well use it. Anyways, this is a variegating purple. I just wanted something nice and bright. So I have been working on this a little bit. This is only going to be like 9 inches wide by almost 2 inches high. So I'm not for sure if I will finish it as a pillow like they did there, or what I'll do. But I have this one, and then she has a couple other freebies that I'd like to show you, but they don't all have cover pictures. So she has a spring one, she has another flower one, she has a summer one, but I also have a freebie from Sweet Wing Studio that I want to start too, and that one's only going to be like a 2x3, something like that. So, but anyways, I'm going to let you go, my friends. I am going to finish my breakfast, and then I got to get a move on and start everything. So I hope that your Tuesday is a great one. It is weigh-in Tuesday, and later today when we sit down and chat, we'll talk about how I did and how I felt like my last week went, and I will bring you along. So talk to you in a few. Hey friends, happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday afternoon. After 1 o'clock, I'm sitting in my craft room. Windows right there, so I got a glare right here because, y'all, it is cold and we have a lot of snow out there, so it's going to be bright. So, but we are finally in the teens. I think we've hit our high for the day. We were only supposed to get to like 16, 17, and that's about what it is. But I'm sure the wind chill is still pretty darn cold because it is cold, cold, cold. When we got up this morning and saw -9, we both are like, oh. And Jerry went out in the kitchen and he turned on the hot water to make sure we still had hot water and all that stuff, and we did. So, but I just wanted to say hello and welcome to all my new friends who have decided to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all the chatting that's going on, and you know, all the letting me know about you. For anybody that is new, I am in Michigan, and I always say you have the mitt because you have the thumb over here on the east side, and we are basically about right here. The UP would be up here, so we're down, not really central, but over here. So Grand Rapids, Lansing, Kalamazoo, Allegan, we're right in the middle right there. Closer to Lake Michigan to the west. So, but I am going to be 67 this year in June, and I am married to my best friend, the love of my life, Jerry, as I call him, aka Mr. Jerry at times. March 1st, we will be married 45 years. It's hard to believe. 45 years. Because there were some naysayers out there that didn't think it was going to last. So, we have 2 grown children. Isaac is, we have a boy and girl, Isaac, and then Bethany. And we have 3 grandchildren. 2 grandsons. One is 17, one is 12, and then Miss Layla is our only granddaughter, so she gets spoiled rotten by all her grandparents. She only has 2, you know, us and Lindsay's mom and dad, and she's 9 years old, going on 16. So, and we are considered Meemaw Peepaws. Isaac's firstborn, Landon, his mom is from down south, and he lives down in French Lick, Indiana with his mom. And so when they were up here, he just one day just started calling me Meemaw. And then one day looked at Jerry and called him Peepaw. And of course, we're used to, you know, grandma, grandpa, you know, granny, you know, all the papa and all that stuff. And his mom said that down south, it usually is not Meemaw, it's Mamaw. And it's not a Peepaw. Was it Pawpaw or Papaw or something like that? But he doesn't call... his grandma that is down south, she is called Mamaw, and I'm a Meemaw. So, and so when Riker was born and Layla, we had said that if they want whatever they call us, they call us. Well, they call us Meemaw and Peepaw. They've always done that. So, but yeah. So we both are retired, and I retired first, and Jerry's been retired starting his 4th year, and our goal was to live down south in Florida and be snowbirds, but that didn't work out. COVID hit and all the stuff hit, And so we built on our sunroom that was supposed to be, as they say, a 3-season room, but it's so well insulated and stuff like that that we can literally use it year round with the help of that little heater. It keeps it like 72 is what I have it set at. So, but it's got lots of big windows. So I really love the sunroom because I'm the type of person that in the winter months I can get that little lack of sunshine depressive, and the windows bring in so much light. It does my mental state 100% better than it normally does. So so I started this channel was because, you know, I've been, like most people, on a roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. I've lost this weight. When I was pregnant with Isaac, I gained 75 pounds and I took that all off. And when I got pregnant with our daughter, I put 125 on and I lost like 80 of it. And then, I don't know what happened, but I got up to my highest. I remember going to the doctor. This has been many, many years ago. And them saying that I needed to be on a blood pressure medicine because it was affecting my blood pressure. And then cholesterol goes hand in hand with blood pressure. So they put me on that. And I remember the first time coming home to have to take that pill and breaking down and crying, because I take my pills at night, and breaking down and crying, wondering, how did I let myself get this way? Let myself go. I was at my heaviest weight. I was at 298, and I was bound and determined. And the year before COVID, I did take it off. I took more than like 63, 65 pounds, and my body just stopped losing no matter what I did. And I was very active. I was walking a lot. We were doing strength training here at the house. Jerry had gotten back into that, and the resistant band, the elliptical, you name it. And it's almost like my body said, this weight is what you need to be at. And in my head, I wanted that 100 pounds, but it had been many, many years since my body been at that. And, you know, when I look back at the pictures, I could see that I wanted to lose more weight because I still had a little bit of a belly, and I was still big in the thighs, you know. But then life happened. His dad got really, really bad, and then his mom was diagnosed with dementia, and my weight stuff went out the back door because I was the caretaker for those two. And so for several years, I was in the back seat. We lost his dad, and his mom is in a dementia home. And so I decided that I needed to do something again because the weight was creeping back up, and I didn't want to do that. And so a year ago I started this channel, and I've always had a channel like most people do. You know, when you're on YouTube, you have a channel because you're watching people. But I don't know, there was just something about, I wanted to get me back and put me as number one, and I felt like I didn't have anybody that I could talk to that would understand on my weight loss journey. And Jerry is my biggest supporter and everything, but he doesn't quite understand. I mean, he does in some aspects, because he would like to lose 20 pounds. And maybe if I had that mental thinking back when I was only 20 pounds over to do something, I wouldn't be in the boat I am in now. And so that's why I kind of did this, because I love to craft. I love to knit. I love to sew. I just cross stitch, you name it. I just love doing it. And then last year I got into gardening, and I found that the garden just soothed my soul. Being out there in the morning with my cup of coffee, looking at everything, whether it was just plain dirt because things hadn't grown yet, or things are growing and you got to pick off those ucky bugs and everything, and just seeing all that. But it just did me so good that it took that load off from me about, you got to lose weight. You know, it was a natural thing of like, I wanted to eat better, and I just did it. And I had thrown that mental stuff into the garden, and I think I still do that into my crafts and everything. Because if I constantly think about I'm not losing fast enough, or you know, why did you eat this, why did you eat that, just a second, my bread timer went off. It's just ready to go into the oven, but I'm going to finish my train of thought here. I just felt like that when I throw myself into my crafts, it takes my mind off the food. It takes my mind off from going out and just grabbing whatever and not getting down on myself. And so that's why I do so much. And I know there's going to come a time that I won't be able to, my hands won't let me, you know, and but I want to get healthier, and I want to be more able to do more. And so for me, when I let myself go, I quit exercising, I quit walking, I quit moving. I would just sit there and get up in the morning and have my breakfast and my coffee, and I would sit in the chair and I would watch TV, and I would just do whatever craft. And every once in a while I might get up to, you know, sweep a floor or whatever. But that's not good either. So for me, I feel like I can feel the weight being kind of lifting up off my shoulders, out of my head, to treat myself better. Because, example, today I took an hour where I normally would be sitting, and you know, I purposely cleaned the kitchen. You know, I unloaded the dishwasher, reloaded it, did the counters, I swept the floor, I started laundry, I put it into the dryer, I started making bread, and got that going, and got my yogurt going. And after an hour, for me, who is very sedative, that was a lot of movement for me. And so then I was sitting there, so when I sat down, then my head starts saying, well, I don't know why you should be proud of yourself for doing that, because, you know, that's nothing, you know. And instead, I quickly said to myself, stop it, because it was more movement that I had than yesterday. Because yes, I planted the seedlings, but I'm sitting. I didn't really do much yesterday. I sat on my rump in my recliner and I just watched TV. So to purpose say I'm going to get up and do a little bit of house cleaning, and if someone tells you house cleaning isn't exercise, you just need to them off. Because when you are, for me, 75 pounds now overweight, carry 75 pounds on your body. That's like carrying 75 pounds of weight on you. And so that bending over and the walking sometimes can really, really, you know, it can just be hard. There are times when we have a soft water heater, and he was softener, I should say, not heater, softener. And he will carry in those bags of salt, and you know, he'll sit there and he'll go, I just don't know how you do it. I says, how I do what? He says, how you carry that? He says, because I'm carrying these 2 bags, and this is what you say you need to lose, and I have to go up and down these steps to pick them up, put them on my shoulder, and carry them into the house to where the softener is, you know, and then put it in the softener, and then go out and get another bag. And he said, you know, he says, I don't know how you do it. He says, I just couldn't do it. And I never think of it, because I don't see myself the way others see myself. I don't see a big person. The only time I see a big person is when I look in the mirror or a reflection or see a picture, and then I go, I'm mortified. But in my head, I'm not that big person. I don't know if that's good or bad. But, you know, I just wanted to come on and just say welcome. You know, thank you for joining me. I know this is a lifelong journey, whether you are just starting or you've been on it for 20 plus years. I'm always hearing the same thing. It's not easy. It's an everyday thing, and it's something that can take a long time. And just because we reach the goal doesn't mean that we stop, because that's how come you see people that put it back on. It's really easy. I don't know about you, but I can put on weight without, my joke always was, I can look at that piece of cake and you might as well just put the 2 pounds on each, you know, on one hip, and then if I have another one, the other hip, and then the glass of milk, you know, I mean. And I'm always the one, I used to be able to, no, I shouldn't say that. I've never been able to, even when I was losing that 75 pounds, it was a struggle. It was hard for me, and I was very active, and I was in my 20s at that time. You know, back when I was 16 and I look at those pictures, I was thin. I mean, I was probably 130 pounds and 5'8". Of course, I'm 5'7" 3/4, you know, now, because we tend to, but I was just, when I look at my senior pictures, I was just skin and bones is what it, to me, it was too thin. And I can remember wearing a size 12 and could never get into a 10 because my mom would say I'm big bone. But I can remember at 16, she thought that I was putting on weight. Now, my putting on weight at 16, I was probably in the 120s to 130 at the most. And she took me to Weight Watchers when she was doing Weight Watchers. And she would, you know, I remember I had to sit with her. I don't think that she paid for it. I don't remember being on the scales, but she started fixing my meals for me. And, you know, at 16, that kind of messes with your head. And I can sit there at 66 right now and say, well, it's all due to my mom. Well, at some point, it quit being my mom. It started becoming me. Nobody's forcing me to be eating that bag of chips or that ice cream or that whatever. It's me. It's my choice. So I had to learn. And I feel like when we're losing weight, especially me, it's like an onion. We have several layers. And the more that I start to lose, then I start to uncover another layer. And that layer then reveals something else to me. So today, I did weigh in. Last week I was up 0.3. Today I am down 0.3. Would I like it to be 3 pounds? Yes, I would. But Will I take the 0.3? Yes, I will, because it's going back down. So, like my friend told me this morning, you know, we're going the right way, and slow and steady wins the race. And I just have to realize that for this year, I wanted to have that 75 pounds off. I wanted to be able to not have all this excess weight on me so I could enjoy the summer a little bit more comfortable, and that's not going to happen. Will I have some more weight off? I sure hope so. I plan on it. But I have to kick that out of my head, because yesterday I posted that about how we set the bar so high that we all just feel like we could never reach our goal because we set that bar too high. And I post those for me too, because sometimes I post that I see someone else has lost this much weight, or they've done this, and I think, why can't I do it? And I just keep reaching and reaching and reaching, and I don't stop to sit there and look at me and say, look what you did. You tracked everything that you ate. You move more than you usually do. You turned down certain foods. You know, clothes are a little bit looser on you. You know, just good things like that. So I'm sorry this is going to be extra long. It's going to be chitty chatty, and afterwards it probably will just be pictures of, you know, different things. But I do appreciate each and every one of you, and I appreciate all the encouragement when I hear somebody say they're on a weight loss journey. They've already lost X amount, or they walk so long, or they just do this, and after a while it becomes a habit. And I have to remind myself that if you sit on your butt, let's see, if I'm up from, let's say, 16 hours a day, and out of that 16 hours, I'm sitting the majority of it, any type of movement that I do extra today is better than yesterday. And so for me, I am going to sit there and say, you know, I get that gold star, high five for moving an hour today more than yesterday. And that just means that maybe tomorrow I'll move a little bit more. I would love to start to get back to walking again. And, but for me, inside the house, my walking is going to be walking around the house. And you know what? That's all right. I'm moving more than I did the day before. And so whatever you are striving for, just look for the good in it. Praise yourself for whatever you did. Try to improve more than you did yesterday, even if it is one little thing that says, I got this, I can do this, and it's going to be okay. So thanks again for listening, my friends, and if you stuck this long with me, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But I do this so that it's like a diary for me too. So when I go back to edit it and I do re-listen to it and everything, then I can sit there and hopefully it resonates in me that says, you know, I am doing the best I can, and comparison is not the way to go. And continue to do what I'm doing, because eating all those good foods, and for me, less processed, we still eat some processed, but the less processed is healing me from the inside out. My doctor has told me that years and years ago, and I've never forgot that. She always had said, she doesn't care what the number in the scale says. What she cares about is if clothes are fitting a little bit looser, if, you know, your middle is starting to shrink a little bit, You are moving more. And she says, and the less processed foods that I eat, the more I'm healing my body inside from all the processed foods I used to eat. And that is so true, because there are certain foods now that once I did get them out and I go back to eat them, they will make me sick. And foods are different now than they used to be growing up as a child, for me anyways. So that's why I make our bread. Jerry has a sandwich every day. I don't eat sandwiches too much. I tend to eat a lot of salads, like lettuce and stuff. And so I'm just trying to make it so that I can feel better, he can feel better. And so far, our lab works have been really good on that. You know, I'm just still trying to cut sugars out of certain things so that my fasting sugars can go back down to normal, but I don't think they'll ever be normal until I get the majority of this weight off, and maybe they never will be. So, but so far, A1C is good, and blood pressure is good. All that stuff is good. So I'm here to say welcome. Thank you again, my friends. I will definitely let you go, and stay strong. I hope your week will be a great one. And till we can chat again. How's that? Thanks again, and see you soon.